Good evening, C25. I'm very excited about what we get to do together over the course of the next couple of days. And it's important that you're connected to the internet because Michael did mention that we're going to rest. And I really believe that God has brought some of you here because you need a break. And I hope that you get it. But there's also going to be some moments that we're going to be productive together. And we're going to figure out how to hear from all the voices in the room and come together in shaping something with regards to what we believe to be next with regards to theological education. And we're going to work on this together every morning, every evening. We're going to take some time to actually dig into this a little bit. We're calling it the Innovation Lab. And it's going to be a process of looking into the future. So I want to give you a mental picture tonight so that you can start preparing your heart, preparing your mind. I know a lot of you have been preparing by reading the initial research that we did and also participating in the survey. That survey is actually shaping the conversation for us. But the picture I want to leave in your mind, has anybody ever had a dog that had to put on the cone of shame? Anybody ever had to do that? Okay, so it's terrible to put that on a dog. But the other day, my teenage son's teacher emailed me about my teenage son not paying attention in his math class. And when I confronted my teenage son about it, he explained to me that there's this girl that he really likes on his one side, and on his other side is a friend that's really good at math, so he's bored, so he's distracting him all the time. So my explanation to my teenage son was simple. If this goes on, I'm going to design a cone of shame to keep him focused on math. So I think there's some parents out there that might want to, we should patent it. We'll make some money, okay? But this is the cone of the future that I want to introduce to you. So on the y-axis here, you've got the now, right? You've got the moment in time that we find ourselves, and the x-axis is over time what happens, right? And there's a couple of things here. The broadest line is what's possible. When we stand at the now and we look forward, there's a cone of the future. There's a possibility of what might happen from this point going forward. But there's also a plausibility, right? Things that is more likely to happen than just the possibility. And within the plausibility, there's the probability, right? What is likely to happen. And then within the space of this probable, you create the projected, right? You create the space where you say, this is what I think is going to happen into the future. When we're good sons of Issachar, that's able to understand the times that we find ourselves in, we predict the future. But leaders don't just predict the future. They don't just read the trends and understand where things are going. Leaders understand that there's a preferable future. There's a God-ordained future. We're on this planet for a mission, and there's a preferable. And what leaders do is they take things from the probable to the preferable. And we're here together to not only figure out where the world is heading and where theological education is on its way to, but we're here to shift and change it into God's preferred future. And to do that, we've got to apply leadership. And leadership is simply the process of taking things from A to B. And if you've ever read Maxwell's work, you would have heard that leadership is influence. And I believe that is true. Leadership indeed is influence. It's taking people from one point to another point, but you can't influence people if you don't know where they are. It starts with insight. It starts with understanding the world we live in. We live in a changing world, and there's all these forces working into the theological education sphere, whether it's formal or non-formal or pastoral training or whichever way you're involved. The reality is there's certain insights that you need to take a hold of, and then we need to apply foresight into where we want it to go. We've got to understand the preferable. So we're not only going to define and gain insight into the probable these days, but we're actually going to define a preferable, and we're going to chart a course forward for what's next in theological education. And that's what we're going to do during this Innovation Lab. And actually, to test it out, I want to invite you quickly to go to menti.com on your mobile device, phone, tablet, whatever you've got. I want you to do this because here's the thing, is during the course of this week, we're actually going to continuously go to this space and we're going to interact digitally. We have digital ways using AI where we can hear from all 600 people in the room at the same time, summarize it, respond to it in all kinds of different ways. So you can scan the QR code. There's actually some post-its up of it as well, because we believe that this room is smarter than any individual, right? There's a collective wisdom here, which is greater than what any one of us can put down. So you've already started contributing. 35% of you has filled in the survey, the pre-C25 survey. You can see there that the bulk of the group is 40 to 59-year-olds. Thank you for the almost 300 responses that we've got. It's already shaping our planning for tomorrow morning, tomorrow evening. We're going to work all of this in there. We've already heard from leaders from 92 countries on 6 continents on this matter. So even before we start tomorrow to work on this problem, we've already heard from the nations the solutions here. And if you're on that Menti, if you've gone to the Menti, if you've scanned the QR code, or you've gone to the Menti, you would have followed along on the slides, and you'll be able to now, in a moment, share your opinion. So if you don't get the code, don't worry about it. You can simply go to the top. You'll see right at the top of the screen, there's a Menti code that you can use to go there. And what I want to ask you is, if you had to force rank your expectation, if you had to look at what do you think the most valuable part of this week will be, I want you to rank them from the most valuable to the least valuable. And I know you're going to have a tough time because most of you are going to feel like it's all valuable to you. It's okay. It gets to be all valuable. And you can actually see the live results from this audience as we're force ranking this. So we're going to use this tool continuously tomorrow, and we're actually going to look at it. And it seems like the connections, the conversations, the collaboration is most important to the room as we go here. And I'm excited that the program we've got set out says exactly that. I want you to take a moment as I leave the stage, and I want you to quickly answer this question for yourself. We'll actually start here tomorrow. What would make this week extraordinarily successful for you? What would make it worth your time and effort this week? I'm looking forward to the Innovation Hub together as we spend some time together over these next couple of days.